Yo, what's up? I'm Zach. Welcome back to my channel of RWBY Mythology. So yesterday I will be reviewing the 11th episode of RWBY Ice Queendom titled Light and Shadows. And before I continue on, this will contain spoilers so if you guys have not seen the episode. So this episode, it felt like it was a finale episode. And we have like one more episode left. And the episode was based on where we left off. Like everything just went down to hell, and every stadium went to freaking gulps of purple flames or whatever. Like Yang defeated the big huge ass golden thing. John actually took out the armored gigas, and Ruby actually took out the monster Grim because she found out like, oh yeah, the Nightmare Grim is actually in your shadow the entire time. So that's how you couldn't beat the actual Grim. And the fight between Blake and Weiss, the negative version, they were still going on until everything went over. So the professor, she actually caught the Nightmare Grim that was part of Weiss. Now they had to get the first ever Nightmare Grim that were, possessed John, now possessing Blake. And they managed to do it, but Blake actually fight out of it, but the Nightmare Grim still possess the negative version of Blake. So we got the epic animation fight. We got like two epic animation fight. Yang Semblance destroying that freaking huge ass golden thing, and the Team RWBY against the, I will call it Nightmare Blake, because they literally are facing the Nightmare Grim that is possessing the body that Blake was in. So yeah, and the animation was pretty fucking good. Like holy fuck. And not only that, Yang actually see the good dream that she came across, which is little Wise, kid Wise, speaking to her grandfather, and it was like peaceful and all. It was like kind, sweet memory and kind, sweet dream. And I would say that's like the only good dream that Weiss ever had. The rest of it is just how she dreamed that it could be or could have been or something like that. And when she realized after defeating both two versions of the Nightmare Grim, Weiss was a bit embarrassed. She was heartbreak, and she is so embarrassed that all of this, and they all know their Weiss's dreams, and she felt guilty, and she felt obsessed and embarrassed. She wants no one to know, and she tells John if he tells other of his teammates about it, she will never forgive him. And John's like, that's a bit too late for that. That's the reason why they got me involved in here. So yeah, her teammate, Team Juniper, and the professors, they know about Weiss's dream. And here's the wow. I feel a lot of people are going to be questioned about this. For the first time ever in the dream, RWBY used Silver Eyes. She used her Silver Eye powers for the first time, not in Volume 3. So basically, they kind of like a retcon RWBY's first ever using the Silver Eye. But apparently, she never brought it up. Ozpin know that RWBY used her Silver Eye, because in the reality, Ozpin can see RWBY's eyes are glowing underneath the blindfolded, but they do not notice. Ozpin knew. Even RWBY doesn't know it. She just didn't say nothing or mention about it. She's just like, want this all to be done. So some people say, oh, they just retcon RWBY first experience of, unlocked her Silver Eyes. Actually, no, she doesn't know about it. Keep this in mind, all this is in a dream, not in reality. So RWBY doesn't know about her eyes have a super abilities. She doesn't know that. She thinks, pretty much in her point of view, she thinks it was, because of Weiss helping her or something like that. But no, it was, that's what RWBY believes in, but they're not retconning Volume 3 or anything. and all this just happened in a dream. Anything could happen in a dream. So, again, Ruby didn't question it or mention it to anyone or Ozpin about it, but I feel like Ozpin would know. He actually wouldn't know, because he ain't dumb. He already knows, but didn't want to say nothing. So basically, they kind of kept it in canon that Ruby doesn't know about. Her silver eyes does have the ability, because they don't want to change anything based in the main canon. They just want to add that in to the dream so Ruby can actually beat the Grim, which she did, because she was having trouble killing the Grim, Nightmare Grim. So, I mean, she did beat him, but later on, the fake one right behind her was about to freaking kill her. And I made a funny joke. I seen enough hentai, I know where this is going. I just made a fucking joke. And I was just laughing, just making jokes, until she used that silver eye ability. I was like, hey, yo, hold up. I was questioned about it at first, but the more I think about it, I was like, okay, yeah, it would make sense. She would not mention anything. And, and the ending of the episode, all the professor and the rest of the member of Team Juniper, they were happy that she's okay and that she's awake. And Weiss felt embarrassed, and the episode ended. And there's an end credit where Weiss is crying, and she think they all gonna laugh at her, this and that. And Ruby Yang and Blake, they said they're not gonna do anything like that, yada yada yada. And she's like, why can't you say those things? And they completely silent, and they couldn't help but laugh. And was like, y'all said you won't laugh, y'all mean. And the episode, the end credits end by showing the two relics, the chess piece they have in Volume 1. And the next episode is the final episode, which will be Best Day Ever. So I guess is the OVA episode, or the episode that takes place after the end credits, or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe it's the episode that will be tied to Volume 2, like there's something we never seen in Volume 2, because the only episode showed where Team RWBY and Team Juniper were in the cafeteria. So again, this episode, it starts before the food fight in Volume 2, the first episode. So that's basically what I'm thinking of. And again, when I watched this episode, I feel like this should have been the final episode. But I understand why they want to make a final one. Because, I mean, they did like a bit of a recap of Volume 1 in 3 episodes, and they put it into one. And I feel like episode 12 is going to be like just one episode. Like, oh, we're going to give you a little bit parts that you never seen in Volume 2, Episode 1. I mean, something you never seen before Volume 2, Episode 1 started. Because you've seen the characters in the cafeteria, but you don't know what happened before Volume 2, Episode 1. And there was one scene that Ruby and Weiss spoke, and Ruby asked if Weiss could be her friend because, well, Weiss felt all alone. She felt loneliness, and she didn't have anyone except her sister. And that's why Ruby asked if she could be her friend, and Weiss just came up but smiled. So, yeah. And there's something I actually forgot to mention then. And also the dream around was about to disappear, and John sees the little Weiss and the Dream Pura disappear as well after John says thank them for helping him, all that. And no, it was Ruby and John, and the entire dream was about to disappear, and the entire dream was shattered into pieces. Every around shattered into pieces. So yeah. It was, again, it felt like the actual final episode. But now, the next episode is going to be the final one. And I'm actually cannot wait till next Sunday because after that episode, like I said, you guys gotta be on the lookout for some RWBY videos I have planned after the RWBY Ice Queendom. So, the very first video after the RWBY Ice Queendom series come to an end, I will have a collab video review with my homie, Crimson Hollow. We're gonna do a review and talking about the episodes here and there, and all that stuff, because yeah, we're gonna still talk about spoilers stuff, all that. And yeah, so basically we're gonna discuss all of that in the near future. Well, I would say next week. And I honestly don't know when we be able to do it, because it has to happen on Sunday, and so basically I had to find a way to do it before I go to work for the night shift for next week or anything like that. So yeah, this episode was pretty good. It felt like the actual final episode in a good way, and I was like, it's about damn fucking time in a way. But anyway, you guys, I hope you guys enjoying the video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Links to my other channels, my social media, and my Discord server, all that will be down below in the description box. You guys know the drill. Again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. RWBY is love, RWBY is life. Keep moving forward, and I'll see you guys later.